Everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? Welcome. God damn it. My allergies have been bothering the fuck out of me. Welcome to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream. Yes, this will be, I think, the third or fourth night in a row that I have done the live stream. You guys know that I've been dealing with a lot of heavy stuff on my plate, and I do apologize that I was slipping a little bit when it came to the content. But I'm getting back into the swing of things. I'm not completely out of the little bout of depression that I've been going through. What up, Ray B? But I have noticed that me doing these live streams have been helping me keep my mind off of my problems and just being able to interact with you guys. You know, I've been doing the podcast every single day, Monday through Friday, and that is one thing. That's recorded, that is produced, and you guys are hearing me at my best. But there is a different, like, I don't know, like level when you're doing live content. I've talked about it. It's like walking that tightrope. You could fall at any minute, like Nick Walinda could fall into a volcano. And I'm sure I knew that I probably wasn't going to get a lot of people in here tonight. I got 4 in here right now. And you 4 that are in here, I just want to tell you, I'm very, very grateful that you guys are checking out my content on a Sunday. What up, Anthony? Yeah, man. Like I'm, you know, dealing with everything that's been going on in my life. Me just staying busy is how I deal with things. What up, T-Bone? How are you? So I'm just trying to stay busy. Iggy T. All right. So Iggy T, I gotta tell you, Iggy T, I'm not trying to be a creep, but I checked out your profile. Whoa, Raymond. Raymond's already like showing up strong at paypal.me/Tuddle on the radio. But Iggy T, I gotta tell you, I kind of creeped out your Instagram page since you accepted my follow, and I gotta tell you, holy crap. I didn't know that they built women like that in Canada. Holy shit. I'm not trying to be some like misogynistic pig or anything like that, but it just makes me feel good that like very, very attractive women also looks like you got your shit together as well too, that is listening to the content that I'm putting out all the time. I got to tell you, Iggy T, oh, no, and Iggy T, I'm not trying to be like disrespectful or anything. I'm just, I'm paying you a compliment. And I'm sorry that it took so long for me to get to your DM that you sent me talking about how you're liking the content and stuff. I don't want any of you guys to think that Iggy was like, trying to blow up my DMs. She wasn't sliding into my DMs. She was just telling me how much she has been liking the content and stuff that I'm doing. So thank you, Iggy T. I appreciate you accepting my friend request on Instagram. But just know, like, I will be checking out every single pic that you post. My morning started off like really, really weird. Living in Florida, especially near the water, especially on the coast, you got to deal with salt water. And a lot of people don't realize what salt water does to just things that are metal. Last night, see, that's the thing about it is that usually, and I probably shouldn't admit this, but it's pretty dark, and I usually just crack open the door to piss outside because the bathroom is in the bedroom where my parents, well, my dad's been in the hospital, and I don't like to go back there, so I crack open the door just to piss right out the front door. Couldn't do that last night because the goddamn door lock jammed on us. It jammed on us. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to mess with this tonight. But I woke up this morning and I spent 2 hours trying to get the front door of the fifth wheel open. And I couldn't do it. I could not get it done. I took the whole thing apart, could not get the door open. And I don't even know why. I don't know why they would even like. I mean, isn't that some type of fire hazard? Because I got to tell you, Richie, Big Dick Rich, what up, Rich? Richie, I got to tell you, you know, you guys all know that Colton is my best friend. And out of all the friends of Colton's, Richie is the realest, most sincere guy that I've met that is friends with Colton. And the guy always calls and checks on me. Really, really good guy. So I'm really honored that Big Dick Rich is checking out the show today. No homo when I say that. But it is a fire hazard. It definitely is a fire hazard. So I took the whole thing apart, and then I ended up having to call my dad's best friend, Mark, who is just, maybe less than 100 yards away from where we live at. And he brought out a pry bar. We ended up having to pry bar the whole locking mechanism off of the door just to get out of the trailer this morning. I spent 2 goddamn hours. Now, the store right down the street, the RV store that sells all the parts, they have the door lock mechanism that I need, but they're closed on Sundays. So right now, we don't have any locking doors. I had to put duct tape over where we had to pry bar the locking mechanism out of the door. And I don't know if a lot of you guys know this. I did a stunt back in the day on Real Radio 104.1 where I was buried alive in concrete for 2 days. That really didn't bother me. It really, really did not bother me. Do you want to know why it bothered me not being able to get out of? No lock, but 100 guns. Yes, trust me, I thought about I thought about pulling out the AR to just blow. Oh, well, you know what? I got the shotgun too, and it's got buckshot in it. I think I could have taken the door out with it, but I didn't want to have to replace the whole goddamn door. But we ended up getting that unlocked. But the reason why it bothered me so much is that I have this thing about not having freedom since I got out of the mental institution. When I was in the hospital, just being in there for the 10 days that I was in there, not being able to leave, not being able to go outside, not being able to do whatever I wanted to do, has kind of made me a little claustrophobic. It really has. And I was starting to freak out. I really, really was. So Mark came over. We ended up pry barring the locking mechanism out of the door. So we had that big ass hole in the door. We didn't fuck up the door too badly. So we should be able to just replace it. No bubbles, no troubles. So that was a great way to start out my day. If you're in the chat room right now, give me a thumbs up, give me a liking, because it does help with the algorithms. Hit that little thumbs up button. And, I know all you guys are going to, in the chat, yep, thanks, Ray B. I knew that was coming, Ray B. I knew that was coming. But yes, hit that little like button. Make sure you subscribe if you've not already done that. And hit that little bell button, because when you hit that bell button, what up, Michael Newell? How are you today, buddy? Hope you had a great weekend. But when you hit that bell button, it's going to alert you any... God damn it, Rich. Richie, come on. Hit that like button. Helps me out with the algorithms. So what I'm trying to say is... See, I'm already lost now. This is what happens when I start reading the chat room. But yeah, I get claustrophobic whenever I cannot, when I'm trapped somewhere. It just, I don't know, it just gives me anxiety. And I really do think that I can get tickets to go to Disney at any time. I really can. So if you want to go hang out at the parks, let me know. We could do a Disney day. But yeah, it gave me the biggest anxiety, and I started like having a panic attack that I could not get outside. Do a video cast. I could easily do a video cast. So, yeah, but see, that's the other thing. All right, so just because I was in the mental institution in the hospital, does that like negate me being able to own weapons? No, I don't think it does. And just to be open and upfront, I don't really own any weapons. I know that there's plenty of them in the house. I do believe that there needs to be gun regulations. But the Second Amendment is always going to be there. There's nothing you're going to do about the Second Amendment. It's just not going to happen. I hate it when these politicians use it, especially the Republicans, when they say, oh, if you vote in Biden, oh, he's going to take away your guns. It's never going to happen. It is never going to happen. That's why it is the Second Amendment. That is why it's right behind the most important amendment we have, which is freedom of speech. And by the way, you can create all the laws in the world you want to create. The criminals do not obey the laws. So, you know what? You're kind of damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I know a lot of people recently that I've met are anti-gun. And I respect their opinion. I really, really do. But it's like, you know what? I would love to have one. I really do. Because it's like, they say that the reason that they said that the 90s were the most highest rates of homicides in the United States of America at that time. Thank you, Cornelian Orleans. But they say the reason why the homicide rates dropped was because other people had access to guns. And criminals would think twice about rolling up on somebody, trying to rob them or carjack them, whatever it may be, because you don't know if they have a gun. I try to tell people that are new to the state of Florida, that have moved here from other parts of the country, that you just cannot road rage here in the state of Florida, because everybody is carrying a concealed. Stand your ground, the castle doctrine, whatever it may be. Hell, we even let what's his face, George Zimmerman, off. And I know a lot of you guys are probably like, oh, well, that was his right. No, you know what? George Zimmerman was a pussy. He rolled up on Trayvon Martin. He thought Trayvon Martin was going to cower. Trayvon just started beating the shit out of him. And then George Zimmerman had to pull out a gun because he started the whole thing. He was a wannabe cop that went out there and thought that this young black kid was going to cower to him. But no, guess what? Trayvon threw those hands and was beating the fuck out of George Zimmerman. And the only thing that George Zimmerman could do was put some rounds in him. And I still don't know how he got off. And you are right. Florida is a weird fucking state. I don't even know how Casey Anthony got off because I was there covering that case every single day for the BRN, the Bubba Love Sponge show. And I just don't understand how the hell she got away with that. You know, I've been doing this podcast in the clubhouse, and they got this little table where people can leave things that they don't want. And I got to tell you, it's really not the best stuff. I think the best stuff that I gotten was they had a bunch of and I'm not trying to shock jock you here, but it was a package full of medication, not like prescriptions, but like Advil, Tums, all that good stuff. No, you want me to, Jose Baez? It wasn't Jose Baez. It was Cheney Mason. Cheney Mason's summation. I think that's what you call it. Your closing statement. That is what won that case. Cheney Mason was the guy that brought that home. He hit the walk-off home run, flipped the bat, showed up the pitcher, rounded the bases, stomped on home plate, and shot me the bird finger while they're popping bottles in a club right across the street from the Orange County Courthouse. Because he did do that to me. He wrote about me in his book, called me a media jackal. But back to what I was saying, this table that they have is they leave stuff there. And I grabbed a box of douches, like douche bags. And once again, I'm not trying to shock jock. And I'm not trying to say my mom needs them, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to grab my mom some douche bags and bring them home just in case she needs them. It was like a box. It was like a pack of 10 of them. I was like, you know what? They're free. I'm going to bring some douche bags home to my mom. So, but now they got a bunch of DVDs out there that I went through. And I got to tell you, they're pretty bad ones. Now, I have always been a big fan of Anthony Hopkins. I've never heard this one. Guilty Conscience. It's got Blythe Danner, great actor, and Anthony Hopkins. I think I'm going to check this one out. Definitely going to check that one out. Now, I don't know about this one. It says David Copperfield, and I thought that it was actually about the magician, but I don't think it is. I really do think it is a Western. Now, I'm going to save these two for last. Speaking of last, Lassie. Yeah, Lassie. And the only reason I bring up Lassie, like I said, these are horrible DVDs, and I understand why people were just trying to throw them away. Speaking of Lassie, the return of Ren 1010. Now, I'd like to hear from you in the chat room, or you can leave me a voicemail 407-270-3044, or you can email me tuddle@gmail.com. What is the top dog, Ren 1010 or Lassie? I don't know. Wasn't there some other famous dogs out there as well too? Now, I remember this one as a kid. And what really, really pisses me off. Oh, okay, all right. So I did find more of them. See, I can't find the other disc. The Fall Guy, Lee Majors. I got season 1, disc 1 and 2. Old Yeller, yeah, they had to shoot the dog. But then it skips to season 1, disc 5 and 6. That one kind of pisses me off a little bit because I remember The Fall Guy. That was a great opening theme song. And man, I wish I could remember it off the top of my head. But The Fall Guy with Lee Majors was pretty awesome. I got this one for when my dad gets back out of the hospital, The Lone Ranger. Now, you guys all know that I am a big history buff. World War II, the German front. And I got to tell you, even though Hitler was one of the most evil people on the face of the planet, but the dude had some swagger. Look at the way he was clothed and the mustache. Him and Michael Jordan are the only ones that have been able to pull off that mustache. Now, when I first saw this one, I was like, hell yeah, The Bodyguard. Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston. Bam. Boy, was I wrong. It is The Bodyguard, but it's starring Sonny Chiba. Now, a tall of... Oh, see, I only got disc 2 and 3. Why can't I find the other ones? Hellboy. The original Hellboy. Selma, is it Blair? Selma Blair? Oh man, I always thought she was hot as hell. And then you had the amphibian guy, which I think was played by David Hyde Pierce, which played Niles Crane in the TV show Frasier. So I just wanted to go through some of those stuff. It's kind of like a little bit of a swap shop here at the Hobo Fish Camp Clubhouse. Oh, yes, I want to mention this. If you didn't tune in to last night's show, I've asked you guys to write me in. Write me in for best podcast on the Orlando Weekly website. Best of Orlando, best podcast, not on the radio. Now, I could give you the link and everything, but my web guy, my good friend Jason, who created Tuddle.net, that's Tuddle with 2 Ds, TUDDLE.net. If you go there, you're going to see a banner. It's going to be close to the top. It's going to say Orlando Weekly. So when you click on that link, it's going to take you directly to the Best of podcast, Best of Orlando, on the Orlando Weekly webpage. If you could do me a favor, just go on there, register. I think you got to give your email and write me in. And when you write in, make sure you write in the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Because I talked about this last night. Do I think that I have a chance of winning this? No, I really, really don't. I do not have a chance at all of winning this podcasting because Tom and Dan, A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan, have won pretty much 8 straight years. I mean, I can be in Orlando anytime. Just let me know. If you want to hang, I can be in Orlando anytime. But yeah, I just want to get nominated. I want to be on that list of finalists that people can vote on because I really do think that it can help the show grow. I really do think that it could help out a lot. You know, it could help me gain a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers on YouTube. And I looked at my analytics today. We are so close. And when I say we, I mean we, me and you guys that support all the content that I put out. We are so close to the finish line of finally being fully monetized on YouTube. You know, a lot of you guys have been asking me, Twitch, 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 get on Twitch. You can make so much more money on Twitch. No, I have been grinding it out. I have been grinding it out every single night, even though this past week I really, really slacked on doing the Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream. But my numbers are there. Like, I'm getting close to under 100 hours of watch time in a calendar year to be able to get monetized. the the knife play story about Roz. Yeah, I kind of go overboard with stuff. I really, really do. And this isn't going to be a long stream tonight. I'm probably only going to do 30 minutes tonight, guys, because I want to get a day ahead again, like I was. Well, thank you, BH. I mean, look, I would love to be able to come on Bubba's show, and I would hope that Bubba would allow me to be able to promote my podcast for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando, best podcast not on the radio. But see, I also, I know that somebody at Florida Man Radio does not like me. So there might be a conflict of interest there. They may not want to he might not be able to promote me because of the Florida Man Radio stuff. So what I'm trying to say is that, like, I'll come in, I'll do a stunt, I'll do whatever I need to do. Like, I'll take the airsoft gun, I'll take a pepper spray, I'll do whatever I need to do. Just let me get that promotion in to be able to tell people to write me in for the Orlando Weekly Best of Orlando, best podcast not on the radio. But it's very easy to do. Go to my website, Tuddle.net. That's Tuddle with two D's, Tuddle.net. Before I go, if any of you guys have any questions, we can do a little AMA here. Ask me anything in the chat room. And as long as the questions keep rolling in, I will stay on long. All right, so Michael Waldner. All right, so, since I don't work in radio, see, it's a big, big no-no. When you work in radio, you are not supposed to. All right, what size cast net do you use? I'm a pussy. I only use an 8-foot cast net, but the biggest I have thrown is a 12-foot cast net. But the PPM. All right, so back in the day when I first started in radio, they would send you a little booklet that you would have to fill out. But the PPM meters is like this little device. It's like a little key fob or something you wear on your collar or a necklace. And what it does is that it listens to whatever you're listening to on the radio. And a lot of people don't know this, is that there is information, there is data being put out on all radio signals that you're listening to. You're just hearing the audio, but all of the audio is tagged with an ID. Now, when I tell you exactly, well, I'm thinking like Tampa is like number 14, number 15 market in the nation. Got over 1 million people listening in that market because they include Tampa and St. Pete. I would like to hear from you in the chat room. How many PPM meters do you think represents the whole market of Tampa and St. Pete? Well, I don't know. You guys won't even be able to get. It's less than 100 people. How the fuck is that fair? I've always thought that it's been ridiculous. I think that it's always been outrageous because it's like, it's all luck of the draw. It's like, all right, if somebody that happens to be a fan of yours ends up getting a PPM meter, hell yeah, you're in the catbird seat. But what happens if the luck of the draw doesn't go your way and a bunch of people that don't listen to you get those PPM meters? It's just not fair. And I saw another question on there about terrestrial versus podcast. Terrestrial radio is dead. Did you get to go to hedonism? Yes, no, no, I do not have my dog tag still, unfortunately. But yes, I did get to go to hedonism. I saw a lot of fucked up shit at hedonism. I did a lot of drugs at hedonism in Jamaica. But back to the question somebody asked, yeah, terrestrial radio is definitely dying. It is dying right on the vine because if you look at it, the biggest radio company in the world, iHeartRadio, which used to be Clear Channel, I mean, they switched their name from Clear Channel Communications to iHeartRadio, which is an application to be able to listen online, and now they are pushing podcasts. Podcasts. All of their promos, all their commercials are your number one leading source for podcasting, iHeartRadio. So, yes, if the biggest broadcasting company, radio broadcasting company in the United States, in the world, if they are calling an audible and they're going in a different direction, yes, that should pretty much answer your question when it comes to is terrestrial radio dead? Yeah, it will be dead. It will definitely be dead. The days of syndication are gone. They are gone. You're not going to get syndicated anymore because you don't have to be syndicated because everybody listens to radio on their smartphones. You know what though? I've talked about this. I hate to call people sellouts because guess what? We're all just trying to make a living. And I really do think Spotify, because I was reading somewhere like Joe Rogan's already had like 30 episodes of his show deleted from the archives because I guess it didn't live up to their standards. And you got to remember, Spotify is a big ass company now. And I'm sure that, Cluster House Show, go listen to him. I love Manson, love Trace, love Donna, love everybody in the Waters family. So, yeah, check out Cluster House Show. So what I'm trying to say is that, I think Joe Rogan, not calling him a sellout, he's doing what he's got to do. I mean, like Bubba always said, everybody cuts their own deal. They really, really do. And you know what? I would take that deal all day for the amount of money that they're paying Joe Rogan. No, listen, Joe Rogan is a man's man. But I really do think that probably the guys at Spotify or the management probably came and said, "Hey Joe, man, you need to, blow a timeout there, pump the brakes on the whole vaccine thing." And for the amount of money that they're paying Joe Rogan, I got to tell you, if the boss man came to me and said, "Hey, you know what? You need to chill on the anti-vaccination stuff," I'd be like, "Okay, cool. You're paying me $100 million? Fuck yeah." I'll be like, hell yeah. Everybody should get jabbed. Jab, jab, jab. Hell, I would take the shot live on the air if I'm getting $100 million. So I'm not calling Joe Rogan a sellout, but the guy's just doing what he's got to do. And I love his commentaries on the UFC fights. His reactions, I mean, those have all become memes now, his reactions of knockouts. So Joe Rogan, yeah, the guy's been a grinder. Like, I remember him on news radio, working his way up, doing comedy. He did a lot of stuff with Dave Chappelle. So, yeah, the guy has earned his chops, and I couldn't be happier for him. Fear Factor, yeah, Fear Factor is another one. Even though at the end he said he kind of started to hate Fear Factor. He said he really really started to hate Fear Factor. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I like Joe Rogan. I mean, he gets some pretty good interviews. Yeah, right there. Thank you, Vulture, for posting the link. You can click on that link that Vulture just posted. Vote Orlando Weekly. Just type in the Tuddle Daily Podcast as a write-in vote. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight on a Sunday night. I'm going to keep doing this as much as I can. Brand new episode of the Tuddle Daily Podcast will be up tonight at midnight. You guys will be able to download it. Hope all you guys have enjoyed your weekend, and I can't thank you enough. I'm very, very grateful for all of your generosity. If you'd like to donate, you could easily do that. Go to my PayPal account, paypal.me/Tuddle on the radio.